Welcome, Chiefs Kingdom. Thanks for tuning in to this Red Kingdom Media production, bringing you raw, authentic Chiefs coverage. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on your team. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
This is the Red Kingdom Media Live POSTGAME Show.
Welcome to this Week 7 edition of the Red Kingdom Media Live Postgame Show. We are your hosts, Clinton, Dale, and Lonnie, for tonight's edition, where we are breaking down the Kansas City Chiefs victorious over the San Francisco 49ers with a final score of 28-18. And to immediately jump into my point and get the ball rolling here, this was a very old school style of football game, very defensive, very rushing heavy. And to say that an Andy Reid led offense was very rushing heavy in 2024 is a massive statement to the growth that he has had over his career, because 20 years ago he would have been considered very stubborn in his ways and was not leading on the run. But the circumstances that he has for this season and the continuous injuries the Chiefs were facing on the wide receiver and pass catcher position, they are really leaning heavy on their rushing game, and especially Kareem Hunt making a comeback. Dale, I know you were very hype and bringing back the 2018 vibes, but it is just very incredible to see the full transformation that this Kansas City Chiefs team has taken, because they have almost leaned into those 90s level Kansas City Chiefs under Marty Schottenheimer and are very happy to win a defensive game. But the fact that you have an MVP level quarterback, you can make plays. But if you look at the stat sheet, you probably would not say that about either quarterback in this game. But yeah, like I said, this game was very old school, especially on the stat sheet, maybe not so much on the scoreboard in terms of the points. But the fact that the defense and the offensive lines were dictating the game was very smash mouth, old school style of football. And it was very incredible to see that, and for the Chiefs to come out on top in a game like that in that manner.
Yeah, so I think it like you said, it definitely wasn't the sexiest football, right? We were just kind of talking before we got on air about the old school look and the evolution of the team. I just think we've seen it before our very eyes. It happened pretty quick, being that we had seen so many injuries, and then we were able to get access to some guys that we had previously had before. So I think we just seen the evolution happen early. And it's here. This is who we are now, and I think this is who we are. Who we will be moving forward. Unfortunately, the turnover keeps finding a way to find Mahomes, whether it be from a tip pass or whether it be from him making a horrible decision. It seems to rear his head almost every game now, which is something that we've really never seen in his career. I think this is who we are set to be moving forward, which is fine with me. I mean, if this is the story of the Kareem Hunt redemption story to a three-peat, I mean, that's just what we got to do. I mean, sometimes I feel like you get these these fortunate situations and these like lucky type situations that help you get to championships, and that's what we have here. So we lucked up and got one of the best players that we had in franchise history that ended up fumbling and not able to keep his position and ended up going to a different team, and now he's back. and he's channeled his old self. We didn't know what he could be without any training camp or without any practice or anything like that, and we see who he can be. He still can be Kareem Hunt. He is that person that he was in 2018 when he joined the team and was the leading rusher. He is that person. The number is only thing that's changed is the number on Kareem Hunt. He is the efficiency of the offense, and I think Tom Brady pointed that out today, which was kind of scary to me. He was like, they're efficient because of Kareem Hunt. They're running the ball. Chiefs are running the ball now, and we haven't done that before. We were using RPOs as an extension of the run game to get yards, and now we're actually handing the ball off to a running back, and he's getting 2, 3. We're getting a third and manageable, and it's becoming situations that we're able to manage and get in and out of. So it's efficient. We're seeing efficiency, and I love it. It's old school football, like you said. I know people don't like that. I want to see 50 points, but it's okay. We're going to see old school football handed off.
Dale, you are still muted. He's muted right now, so I'll take over and let him maybe join and come back, fill the space. Yeah, Lonnie, it's kind of incredible that the Chiefs have made this transformation, because so early on it looked like we were going to be a 50-point team or a 500-yard passing team or a 5-touchdown team, and it is very difficult, it seems, right now on offense, even though when the Chiefs are kind of succeeding in everything they're doing, they're able to kind of dice up other defenses. But something about something where they're just freezing up and having these just undescribable mistakes, like to the Chiefs, or Patrick Mahomes in particular, has more interceptions than touchdown passes this year. And I think we were kind of told that Patrick Mahomes could be like a worst case of a Brett Favre type with a bunch of interceptions, and we never kind of saw that.
Don't do it to him, Clint.
Well, I'm not saying that's set to happen, but it's just very interesting that the chances of 2 interceptions this game, one of them a batted ball and another one that just looked like thrown right to him. It's tough to make of this. Like, I've seen you and Dale kind of mention you don't think that it's necessarily all on Mahomes, but like, he's kind of getting screwed on a couple things, and other times just making a mistake all by himself. Do you think the 2 interceptions this game are on him, or?
No, I mean, Clint, since he's the thrower of the ball, I think they all fall on him, right? But at the same time, I think their situations are situational. And I know that's like a generic, the most bland answer you can give. That's probably like a Mike Tomlin answer. I'm sorry. But, I feel like the one you have with the lineman at the batted ball, you got kind of like this RPO type read lineman. You don't get the lineman's hands down. We see a million of those all the time. We've seen a couple against the Chargers. I think Drew Tranquil had one on Mahomes too that was pretty, where he like ran him over, caught it and ran him over one time in LA, or it was Nwosu. One of the guys has done it to Mahomes like multiple times. So, I feel like it's kind of like technique, because I think that's why Andy went over and you've seen him trying to talk to his offensive line. It's something I think that can be taught to where you can help you get your lineman's hands down, and you just easily you're able to get the ball to whoever you're trying to get it to better without getting it batted. But the second one is he's giving it to his guy, like giving his guy a chance. Xavier Worthy just not finishing. I think if you have a vet there, they kind of know you can't fall on that route, because he's like, I'm giving it. This is going to you regardless. I can tell by how he's throwing it. That's going to Xavier Worthy when he's leaving the huddle. He's telling him, I'm throwing you the ball.
But is that like coming from a place of frustration because just before that was a missed deep ball that was an overthrow, and it was more like, oh, I'm going to try to make up for not getting you the ball earlier, so I'm immediately coming to you right after, and the circumstances came out the
And
way
that,
they did.
and that's the scary part to me, because I mean that's where I feel like you are right. I mean, and I have to be honest. That's where the Brett Favre esque is starting to creep in, to I think Mahomes' career, where it's like I think I can make every throw, or I'm going to make every throw. Um, and that puts us in non-advantageous situations. And I feel like, yes, he did miss the deep ball to Xavier Worthy, and he kind of did miss the one to Travis. I think Brady was saying he could have like got rid of it a little bit earlier. So I think that is a little bit Brett Favre-esque of him, but I don't want to put that tag on him yet, because that's not who he has been in the years prior to this year. So I don't want to say that that's the person that he's become. But I mean, the turnover thing, he has to figure out a way to fix that. Like, he has to immediately, like, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if it's more of just not holding on to the ball as long, teaching better technique with your linemen, trying to help people get people's hands down, and him just teaching them not to force the ball. I thought the answer would be running the ball, handing the ball off. And I mean, I think they did that 22 times with handing it to Kareem Hunt, and then handing it to Steele a couple times. So like 28 times between those two. So like they handed the ball off, they ran it. So I figured that would dial him back. But I know Mahomes is a guy, if you give him a shot, I think he just is a person that I'm taking it every time. I don't care if it's open or not. I'm taking it. And I mean, this year
So,
it's not been good. The result
but
hasn't been good.
yeah, but he also had 27 passing attempts this game as well, and then he ended up having 5 of the Chiefs' nearly 40 carries for the game. So, with Mahomes getting over 30 touches, the second leading man behind him is Kareem Hunt with 22. So, Andy is very comfortable allowing Kareem to get these 20 plus touches in these games, and whether or not he's able to break away, it doesn't seem to matter to Andy Reid, as long as you can continue to pick up those 2 or 3 yards at a time. Eventually, it may turn into 4 or 5, and he averages out to 3.5 yards a carry this game, and he gets into the end zone twice. Dale's having technical issues, unfortunately, but
Yeah,
I know
but
he'd be very pleased with those performance and those numbers.
yes, for sure. I feel like anybody would, but I think that they're more excited about the efficiency, Clinton, and I think that's what we notice as Chiefs fans. I mentioned this on Chiefing with Dale. The Pop is great. The running style is wonderful. We love Pacheco. We love how he runs. His energy is infectious. It energizes the team like no other. However, it doesn't always amount to 2 yards or even 3 yards. Sometimes Pacheco is stoned at the line. I think when Kareem Hunt came back and added the factor of getting that 1 to 2 the 2 to 3 yards, and making it 2nd and 6, or making it second and 7. Like, those are the little things that we kind of don't notice in our offense that we kind of didn't have with Pacheco. Now Pacheco, yes, now he would get one, break it, or hit somebody, or he just hit somebody hard or ran somebody over, got a first down. Yes, it's great, but Pacheco was efficient with certain things. I feel like Kareem, he brings a different element to this offense that we haven't seen before. Where you're kind of the hitting yardage is kind of what I'm speaking about. The things that put us in situations where it's easier to convert. 3rd and 1, 3rd and 3. That's money every time. That's what the Chiefs want to live in: 3rd and 1, 3rd and 3. And if you can get a running back that can get you even remotely close to that, You're going to see an offense like this all the time as long as you have a mature quarterback. And unfortunately, we see. I think he's going through some growing pains. He's maturing still.
Dale, so if your microphone's officially working, go ahead and give us your generic thoughts about the game and as a whole, and give us some insights into the mistakes and the turnovers that we're seeing out of Patrick Mahomes recently this season, and perhaps the offensive shift in schemes and playing styles that it looks like the Chiefs are transitioning to.
All right, so my overall thoughts, because I know I missed out on those, and it's gonna be related to everything we're discussing anyway. But truthfully, I was satisfied with the performance of the shift of going over to being more of a running style offense. I know a lot of people might not be, really enthused with that, but it really just shows that this team has a championship mindset, and they're going to do what it takes to actually win games. Now, I know that we have a quarterback that likes to go out there, sling the ball, and throw the ball, get it to his weapons. But at this time, a lot of teams are, they're not going for that anymore. And that's really going across the league as well, too. Now, you do have your guys that are, of course, going to make those plays and still stand out amongst those in their position group, right? But we lost our guys with Hollywood Brown and Rasheed Rice, so we have to work with what we have. So that's why this shift has occurred in this moment. Now, with the mistakes and the turnovers that we saw in the game, glad it wasn't no fumbles. Running backs played well. But with Mahomes, I mentioned to you all as well, too, even during the game, the interceptions suck because it really is on the stat sheet. But when you go into depth within like what happened, it's like, I guess you can say with the one that it was SWAT, it could be on him because it's thrown a little bit lower. But at the same time, he is trying to go to his guy, his check down, get a quick first down because it was only 2 or 3 yards away. So that was just really a great play by the defensive tackle, just getting his hands up and then also playing on the ball as well, too. You got to give props to them in those moments. And I think Mahomes in that situation is like, you know what? I'm feeling like this is going to happen again with these type of, weird turnovers that's happening against us. And, it always occurs as well. So I think he went into the mindset. If you look at it as well, too, he took some sacks. He had some moments where it's like, you know what? I'm not going to force it. I'm going to just live to play the next down. Now, when he threw that, try to throw that, that post towards the out of bounds towards the White, Worthy slipped. Like, things like that happen, and I'm not even blaming Worthy on that as well because how the field is and how it's going, these type of moments can happen within the game. So I think it's just maybe in this next matchup when we play against the Raiders, we may see a cleaner game against our opponent. Hopefully we can avoid what we had in this game right here. But overall, if you take it away, I mean, it was pretty impressive. Kareem Hunt, coming off the street and coming in and just getting that work and being a workhorse. I have moments where I'm worried about Pacheco when he gets back because I don't think Kareem wants to give up that running back one spot. Now, if we're able to get, some split carries where it's a little bit balanced, where you can have that balanced attack with both of them, I would definitely love to see it. But it's like, no, he's like, I want all the carries, I want all the work, and he really made Carson still take a back seat. So the shift, it's a plus. It's not 50 plus, but let's be honest. When Juju came in, it wasn't 50 plus then. It's just we were putting points on the board. He wasn't turning over the ball a lot, and we were getting downfield, and we get down there quickly, or we can take our time and get downfield and put points on the board as well, too. It just now, a lot of people are like, Mahomes is the best player in the world. We have to stop the best player in the world. You got to, if we stop him, then we'll have a chance to win. At moments in this game, you saw the 49ers have a chance to win because they were trying to, of course, capitalize off the turnovers that were able to get on him at those moments. So you got to take that into account. But, I mean, overall, it's frustrating because we're 6-0 and we're mad about these little things. Damn, to be 6-0 and we're tripping about this, we are spoiled. But that's fine. As long as we have to keep on, we are happy about the wins, right? But you have to always be able to point out the flaws because if you don't, how are you going to get better as a team? And when you look at it, Mahomes, you the only person that has to get better. And you a 2-time MVP, a 3-time Super Bowl MVP, one of the best players in the game. We know eventually you can get it. And guess what? He did it with his feet this time. He said, you know what? My arm is not doing it. I'm going to do it with my feet. The guy who was coming in like a missile, he rocked him and then flexed. I don't know what to say. It's like almost Superman. Like it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna let you throw for 50 plus touchdowns. I'm not gonna let you throw 40 plus yard touchdowns as well too downfield. But guess what? I'm gonna give you a little juke. You think I'm going out of bounds. I'm going upfield for 20, 30 plus yards. I like those moments where you can handle the adversity and be like, you know what? I can switch my game over to something else and beat you this way. When you're able to do that, you're damn near unstoppable. But that's all I gotta say. Hopefully I answered everything within that, because I know it came in a lot. You know, we already 20 minutes in.
You're great. To kind of piggyback off of some of what you said, it's very interesting to be to a point where Mahomes is the one that needs to improve. And the only reason that I'm concerned with like everything that we've seen out of him is, even if we were wanting to try to make a transition into a more running style team, he still, had 27 passing attempts. He 2 interceptions, 2 sacks, and the fact that like his passer rating was less than 50, it's not something you want to see in your quarterback in 2024. So, if you're wanting to kind of transition into more of a running style team, you would have liked to lessen those numbers and kind of bridge the gap between 16 completions and 27 passing attempts. Yes, he did have the 5 carries, and he was able to kind of be Lamar Jackson on that one play to kind of seal it. But if we're trying to make that transition, let's clean that up a little bit. It's obvious that there were still deep ball attempts that the Chiefs can capitalize on if they can just connect on them. They're just not able to hit on them so far this season. Rod, in his articles, pointed out many times that Worthy has gotten open over the top for touchdowns, and Mahomes just wasn't able to connect on them. So he'll have another play to add to that collection. It's clear now, especially when Juju went down, that passing the ball became very difficult, and the Chiefs were able to rely on the running to get this game sealed away. So let's go ahead and roundtable this offensive kind of standouts for us, and then we'll pivot over to the side of the ball that deserves the most love over the course of the season, rightfully so. For me to kind of steal the spot, because I want to make sure I get who I'd like for this game. I'm going to go ahead and take tight end to Noah Gray. I was really happy to kind of see his performance. He took over that Travis Kelce spot, and if Chris Jones is getting that double team approach on the defensive side, then Travis Kelce is getting that same luxury on offense, which means if the starter is getting all the attention, that backup should have one-on-one, and sometimes one on none. And Noah Gray takes advantage of those situations, and that's very impressive to see. He got that 3-year contract, so it's obvious the Chiefs like what they see out of him. And then I texted you guys that I was definitely getting some New England double tight end, almost triples tight end sets. And if Andy Reid wants to play, 2010 style of NFL football, then maybe we're able to convert to that. But he was giving off a player that shall not be named, and Travis Kelce's getting that Gronk treatment, and more like the older style of Gronk. But he Travis is doing damn good on blocking. Yeah, I've been loving the blocking that we've seen from Travis Kelce. If he's not getting the catches and the touchdowns that he's used to, I've liked what I've seen from him in in the blocking. He's just been able to beat guys and just do his job. So if that's what it takes to be a good tight end like George Kittle or Gronk, then Travis Kelce will etch his name into the Hall of Fame as one of the best tight ends by now increasing his blocking stats.
Right, man.
I love your take, Clint. I swear, bro. Like that was just cool. That was like so subtle.
He be trying to steal it from us, bro. Like because when I saw the first 2 first downs on the possession, I was like, we really going through Noah Gray to get downfield to score the ball. I was like, this is something that he basically said, why did y'all forget about me? I know that y'all like Wiley. I know that y'all see Jody Fortson come back, but I have been the guy that's been consistent. And so since you said him, Clinton, I mean, I'm gonna let you have him. But shout out to McCole Hartman. He stepped up. Punt return, big punt return. Also had his in around touchdown as well too. Jet sweep, all that good stuff. He made some plays and also was able to catch his get a reception as well too. Just was all over the offense. And I even said to myself, it'd be funny if when Juju went down that it'd be crazy. 7 receptions for 130 yards is like that would make the whole league, man. Like what's going on with that? Of course, it didn't happen, but I think we just saw, the lack of efficiency from that group due to Juju going down. It kind of happened in that Chargers game, right? Rashid Rice went down, the offense went stagnant, trying to figure it out. Was able to go ahead and pull away with the win. Then the next game, you see Juju go for 120. And then get downfield and the offense look good. So we might see that same situation next week. But yeah, McCole Hartman, good job stepping up. I think he showed that, like, hey, I really fit in this system with the Kansas City Chiefs. What I was saying about the New York Jets, I wasn't lying. They were not in a position of, really knowing what it takes to win a Super Bowl. They have the talent, they have the players, but the culture is way different. And I think being back here, and he took in his role as well too, playing a guy who was, second fiddle, third fiddle, not getting that as much love, for him to be able to, say, it's my moment now to step in. I take whatever I can, get the touches I get. He made the best of it. So shout out to McCole Hartman for getting a touchdown for the Kansas City Chiefs on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of you in the rushing game for McCole Hartman, all over the place. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to who needs to get the game ball, and I know who probably got the game ball back in the locker room. Kareem Hunt. He showed up and did it. I think he has arrived, fellas. Like I think he's here, and I think he's gonna be the guy moving forward. And like you said, it's going to be a battle when Pacheco comes back, and he's probably just going to be on a limited snap count. That's how they're going to play it. Have them both play, and just tell Pacheco, pulling back like a puppy dog on a choke chain, like, we're going to put you on a limited snap count because you're coming off of an injury. We don't want to really take away snaps from Kareem Hunt because he's killing right now. And that's what he's doing. He's old, but he still got the juice, baby. I told Dale off air, it reminded me of LeGarrette Blount. Like, LeGarrette Blount went through a stint where he left the Patriots, then came back and won a championship. Like, Kareem Hunt is thirsty and hungry. He has missed out on a lot. And I think we are just seeing a microcosm of what he's going to give us all year. And I love it. I love to see it. Love the rushing game, and I loved it from Mahomes too. Another iconic run down the sideline, using the punt fake where nobody is usually around. Tony Romo said it numerous times. It's nobody. He's not throwing it to anyone. I don't know how you guys fall for that all the time. And he breaks it off every time. So I love Mahomes, what I've seen in the rushing game from Kareem Hunt. And shout out to him, man. 29, 27, it doesn't matter. Only thing that changed is the number. Kareem Hunt is still the same person that he was before he left Kansas City.
And McCole Hartman's back to 17 from having a weird Super Bowl hero as being number 12.
But 12 is iconic too now.
Yeah.
Though. So
yep, it sure is.
Sorry, Bobby Jerry.
When you were mentioning LeGarrette Blount, I was also going to say some Marshawn Lynch vibes as well. And Kareem was always that type of player that's like, yes, bruise into me, get my first contact out of the way so I can get that stat building up while I run for 7 more. So let's go ahead now at about the 30-minute mark, start pivoting over the defense. shout out to anybody watching in the live. If you have any comments or questions, you can go ahead and leave them, and we'll respond. Or if you're listening or watching after the fact and want us to get back to you, then let us know and we'll respond to you there. So on to the side of the ball that gets all the celebration, and rightfully so for the Chiefs now. This defensive unit, they had 1 sack, 5 tackles for loss, 6 pass deflections, 6 QB hits, and 3 interceptions on the day. And like we said before we went live, turning an MVP Super Bowl participant quarterback into I don't know what you'd call it, but 3 interceptions and the only touchdown coming through rushing on the ground. It was tough sledding for the San Francisco offense, and this Chiefs defense really put the hammer down, and we're able to put a lot of pressure on that offensive line. Chris Jones, of course, drawing all the double teams as per usual, and the safeties and linebackers coming in and delivering big hits, and the cornerbacks sticking their hands and arms in places to get pass deflections or force incompletions or deliver big hits. So I'll let one of you guys take the first round. Who really stood out to you on why this defensive unit was really so dominant today and lived up to the challenge?
Yeah, so I wanted to go ahead and get it out the way. I'm taking him, Leo Chenal. He is ridiculous. I'm talking about has his handprint all over everything. I knew you guys were probably gonna say it. Unsung hero, bro. Like when you want to talk about the only question mark that you had about somebody is covering, and then you see him cover use check down the line. Now it's not perfect coverage. Does he turn around and break on the ball like Trent McDuffie, or no? He doesn't. But he does see that the ball is coming. See use check turn around for it, and he breaks up a pass down the field that he was not expecting at all whatsoever. He was coming in trying to play the run. Juszczyk got over the top of him and he got out there. So Leo Chenal is just a dog. Then calls a forced fumble. Trent McDuffie tries to bat it back in. I'm like, this is becoming reminiscent of the Patriots in the Belichick era. Like they are just like the football IQ. Like everything that they're doing is like, oh my God. Like I hope that they don't bring tags for any conversation of a head coach. Like continue to not notice what he's doing in Kansas City because it's second to nobody. And like I said, Leo Chenal played like a madman today. If you don't know who he is, look up 54 or just go watch the 49ers highlights. You'll see 54 got his handprint everywhere. He got back there again and didn't wrap up for the sack. I don't like that. Leo, you have to start finishing your sacks, but he is a monster. And he does the dirty work for the Chiefs, and I love it. And I could go on and on about the defense. He's one of the many players that showed off today, but they reared their heads for real. I mean, they bring an attitude too. Like, I like it. I love the fight with Trent Williams. Like, you think you're going to bully somebody over here and you're not. Fat boy. Get on. Move around. Thank you.
But it was crazy that you gave the credit to Chris Jones and the pressures today, but George Karlaftis was killing it. He got the sack. Yeah, he the reason why y'all going to get Big Mac sacks, tomorrow. I'm going to be gone beforehand, so I won't be able to get it. So I'm going to be stuck. I can't get it back home, but it's perfectly fine. But he, he definitely was getting back there, putting on Purdy, and he was the cause of a couple of those interceptions as well, too, that were, of course, became somewhat deflections due to him being hit and changing the trajectory of the ball and forcing those particular interceptions. It helped out a lot. So shout outs to him. He has been one of our first round draft picks who has been excelling and growing each year, and you're starting to see him become more of a force at that defensive end position and being someone who's dominant and will be probably a future All-Pro later on, depending on how this season actually go. But shout out to him and also those young bulls who came in, got the interception. I know we probably gonna have that conversation. So, but that was dope. That I liked it. I liked it.
Way to swoop in and steal my picks at the very end. Yeah,
I didn't talk about it. You go. You got to go into it. You go in depth.
Hey,
Because
I
Lonnie,
mean, I don't know who I give credit to. I think I have to, just with the safety position in general, just have to give it to Steve Spagnuolo and Dave Merritt, because it doesn't matter who you are, or where you've come from, or what type of pedigree you had. You can be, a Chiefs draft pick and come in for what, I don't know how many actual snaps, but basically zero, except for the one that you're on, and you get an interception at the goal line to ensure that the San Francisco 49ers do not throw a passing touchdown in this game. Correcting myself that Brock Purdy had 2 different rushing touchdowns. Talk about very old school football indeed. But shout out to Christian Roland Wallace, number 30. What? Who are you? How often are you on the field? Hardly any, but there you are at the right moment and the right time to get that interception, to not necessarily seal it, but to just shift the energy back. That, my goodness, this defense is smothering. If you are not on your A game, and even if you are, they are going to deliver the smackdown, and it's rewarding to see these interceptions come in bunches. Unfortunately, a guy named Roland Wallace gets an interception before Trent McDuffie, but who knows if he'll ever get one in his lifetime. But if he doesn't, I guess he'll just make every other defensive back that plays in his backfield look like $1 million, while he's just casually making deflections on the sidelines and not having his name called again. So anything else you guys want to kind of geek about the defense before we officially give our final takes?
I was gonna say I think you got to get beat to kind of start getting interceptions. And the problem with Trent McDuffie is, it's not a problem. It's actually a good problem. He's never been beat, or he has been beat. It's just slim to none. If he's beat, and it's usually if he's beat, it's probably like, okay, you got him, and you're probably gonna get out of bounds. He's a technician, literally. You see why the Chiefs went up and got him to play in their system. Like I said, that leads me to my next fact about the defense. This is a masterclass by Steve Spagnuolo. Continue to act like you guys do not see what's going on. This is for the rest of the NFL, and continue to let them keep doing it in Kansas City. Like, this is a masterclass, bro. Like, this is crazy. Like, they're coming out and they're stopping people on 3rd and short, 4th and short. Like, we haven't been able to be this comfortable on defense in a very long time in Kansas City, and we have the best player in the world. You better be scared. Like, for real.
Yeah, he literally took the words out of my mouth, because I was saying that earlier. That was the difference from previous years. We would give up these type of games in certain moments. They're not doing that now. And then we will get a 3 and out. Maybe you get a first down of us, and then they're able to lock in and they didn't force a point. But even when it gets to the goal line, they just meet up with them head to head. That run defense has been crucial. They have been clutch. 31, they say try to run it. We're clogging it. You're not getting anything out of that. 4th and 1, 4th inches. We're right there. We're sticking you. Turnover on downs. We'll take the turnover however we get it, but however you want to give it to us, we'll go ahead and run with that. But hopefully eventually Trent McDuffie can get an interception sooner or later. But at the same time, I'm definitely just loving his play. I've been loving ever since he came in to the league, and I saw his the way he carried himself on the field. He just understands the play calls and understands those moments within the defense and what Spags wants to do. And it's carrying over, and he's able to call it out to his fellow teammates as well, too, being that leader in the secondary in the absence of L'Jarius Sneed, who has been who was holding it down last season for us. So but Spags, Merritt, all those guys on the defensive side of the ball, coaching staff, you see that they know what they want. and they're accomplishing what they have put out there and the goals that that they have set as well too. So they just need to continue with that, and then they'll be all right. I think it's okay depending on your defense in this time of year in the regular season going into the getting those wins, and then getting into the postseason, we may see the offense wake up a little bit more. But the offense hasn't been horrible. We just need you to stop. That's all. Those turnovers, but they've been hanging. They've been doing that part. I loved it. I love it. I love what they have brought to the table.
For sure. And my majority final thoughts has to be about this defense and the transformation they made. And shout out to Rod, because this is such a great point that he made as well. The Chiefs before and even during the early to mid years of Steve Spagnuolo have had very much difficult times stopping the run. And this season, they have just been absolutely phenomenal at holding these, upper echelon running backs to just minuscule stats. And at a period of time now, responding to the comment I just showed on screen, saying that the Chiefs cannot win like this. Ultimately, the Chiefs absolutely can win like this, because the NFL is shifting to the defenses being more stars and being the stronger forces in these games. And look no further to the Las Vegas Raiders, who are the Chiefs' next upcoming opponent. We have a divisional matchup coming up to where they were just taking on the 2-4 Los Angeles Rams, and their quarterback, switching back and forth, had Gardner Minshew with a whopping 3 interceptions of his own. So if that quarterback is going to get 3 interceptions in that game, imagine what he will do against our defense, and how much difficulties that Raiders offense is going to have trying to run against this team. And again, I disagree, because this is the type of old school football that would work in the 1920s, 1950s, 1980s, and early to mid 2000s when Tom Brady was doing it, arguably into the mid 20 teens. So it is possible, as Chiefs fans who got used to, like I said earlier, 5 touchdowns, 500 passing yard games. Is that what we want to see? No, it's not. But are you willing to accept that if it ensures the Chiefs get that three-peat that we desire? Then yes, absolutely. I was willing to lean into that strategy last season when it was kind of the Pacheco show getting us forward. At this point, it seems like the Kareem Hunt and the tight end trio. And if that's what it will take to get this team over the hump, then I'm all for it. And I think we should, expect some good results and be really excited for this future.
I
Yeah.
just had to make a comment because it was just sitting on there. I don't want to forget it. Andre, I think you're at the end of the day. It's still 4 touchdowns. I think we have to remember that in these times, defense, it always comes down to them having to make those plays. And when it comes into the Super Bowls, what they say, defense wins championships. So if our offense is just able to, how they did in this game, get downfield, when you get in the red zone, put points on the board, you're not going to be perfect every possession. The reason why it doesn't look as sexy is because we're not throwing as much. We don't have our, elite talent weapons out there who will make it look good, have those big plays down the field, and it's just not what we're looking at. We're seeing 3 to 4 yards to carry. Then mixed in with that, you have one of those freak interceptions that Mahomes have, where it makes the offense not look as efficient. But look at that, he did get downfield, and if anything, we could have got even a field goal off of that and move forward. It's just in those times, that's what makes it look as bad, but it's not as bad as what we think. And we'll see it once we see that shift once we see that shift from Mahomes, and he's not committing those turnovers, because overall, our weapons that we had from last year, we're not having those many mistakes. Carson Steele, he's not out there fumbling the ball. We don't have people, giving up tip passes for interceptions. So if we're able to calm that down, we'll be fine. Like, just take away the turnovers, you'll put up more points. That's it.
And just to round it all off, I think that it's easier to say we've been this team. we've been this team for about almost 1.5 years now. Really since MVS started dropping a whole bunch of passes and we weren't able to get any deep connections. This is who we've been. And we have one like this. The game has changed. We made it to where you drop back and throw it 50 times a game. If you go back and watch some of the pods, we've talked about it. The game has changed. They're running a whole bunch of too high shell. You got to run the ball. This is the evolution. This is the new game now. So yes, the game, just like they old clothes, they recycle old clothes, like the old 90s clothes come back. This is just the game. I think it's coming back. Get a big back like Derrick Henry, you're probably going to win at the end of the game because now it's hand the ball off because you got a whole bunch of little bitty linebackers that's trying to cover the pass, trying to cover Travis Kelce. So I think this is just the evolution of the game. The Chiefs are just ahead of it. And this is kind of who we've been for 2 years. We haven't been able to hit a deep pass to save our lives until we seen Xavier Worthy. That's why we were so excited. So this is who we've been. We won championships like this. I think we'll win another one. I think we just may be a little bit ahead of the curve from the rest of the NFL, and people don't notice that yet. It's not sexy. It's not cute. But if it's about the turnover differential, Mahomes has eliminated the turnover differential his entire career. So he has nullified that. The turnover differential doesn't matter. He can turn the ball over as many times as he wants to. He's still going to probably win the game. And you can look at the history of him. He defeated that margin in the NFL. So this is the formula, and this is going to be the way. Even if he throws an interception, it's not going to matter. He can throw more interceptions than the opposing quarterback, and he's probably still going to come out on top as long as he has a running back that can do it and punch it in the end zone, and somebody that can make a play on special teams. He's going to get it done. They have playmakers all over. The team is built to win when he's not playing good. So, and that's what we see.
Hey, no doubt. And shout out to those in our live chat who are keeping us up here, telling us we're wrong and that we need to have a call-in show. Hopefully some future plans allows for us to have some more viewer and other people engagement. So if you're interested and would love to be able to spout off about why we're wrong or why the team sucks or is awesome, depending on whether we won or lost, we'll work on some of that for the future. But
that's what Clinton show for. Sign up.
Hey, to an extent, but I know some people will be very interested to share their opinions right after a game. So
yeah. We love the interaction. But
yeah, if you're wanting to talk about the Chiefs and this 49ers game and the upcoming Raiders game, I do have a podcast where I talk to Chiefs fans, and I am in need of guests over the next couple weeks. So make sure to hit me up, and the link is in the description if you'd like to potentially be on an episode like that. I'd really appreciate the feedback. And since I'm already doing the spiel before we close, make sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on all of our social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media. You can also follow us on Twitter, aka X at this point, by following the names you see on screen. Or you can look us up individually once the post comes out, as soon as this live stream is over. But I know that you guys have some places to be, and Dale, I hope that you get back to home safely tomorrow. And thinking of you. So unless you guys have anything else, let's go ahead and send the people out. Let them finish their Sunday and go into a Victory Monday. They will not be short on Chiefs content over the next couple of days and through this week as we go back to our normal schedule, as the Chiefs officially are now looking ahead as they take on the Las Vegas Raiders at 3:25 Arrowhead time, and we will be there breaking down the game and everything in between. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Enjoy this Sunday and Victory Monday, as I said already. And as always, go Chiefs!
Thanks for checking out this update straight from the heart of Chiefs Kingdom. We appreciate your passion, so please leave a like and follow us wherever you tune in from. See you next tailgate, your trusted source for all things Chiefs, Red Kingdom Media.